Hello, my friends. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome to your new favorite place on the internet. My name is Bella, and I want to welcome you into my 2026 bookshelf tour. I actually don't think I did one for 2025, so technically you've only seen my 2024 bookshelf tour, and there's definitely been a lot of changes. I think back then I didn't even have the add-ons to these Billy bookshelves, and they've definitely made a huge difference to how I organize my books and my entire book collection. There's been so many changes, and I cannot wait to talk to you guys about them. So of course, one of the very first videos of 2026 that I wanted to do was a bookshelf tour, because it's just the perfect excuse to talk to you guys about some of my favorite books, some of my favorite decorations, some of my favorite decisions in my book collection thing. Exactly. I know you get it. You always do. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, I thought I would answer a couple of frequently asked questions. First and foremost, where do I get my bookshelves? These are the iconic Billy bookshelves from IKEA. I did buy these add-on shelves that you can attach to the top of your bookshelves because originally these ones only come with 6 levels, but as you'll soon see, I have 7 shelves in each bookshelf. One of the biggest changes, and I know that I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'm just so happy about this fact. One of the biggest changes is the fact that my classics collection does not fit in one single shelf anymore. I know, that's crazy. Literally all of the classic literature that I had used to fit in one single shelf, like one single shelf. And now I literally have to use 3 different shelves. It's crazy. The character development is incredible. I am so excited to share this with you guys. And as you know, or as you may not know, I do have this entire wall of bookshelves, which has been a dream of mine for so long. And the fact that I can this is my day-to-day life now, when before I only used to dream of having a bookshelf like this. It's just, I'm really grateful and thankful that this is my reality now. I'm so happy that the dream book collection that I used to wish for is finally a reality. And the fact that I have another bookshelf like right in front of me, right here, it's just so cool. So of course, I'm going to be talking about these bookshelves, but I'm also going to be talking about the bookshelves that are over here. This one is definitely going to be a long one. I hope you guys are ready to hear me yap about some of my favorite books. I hope you're ready to hear me just like pop out some random facts that I remember as we go through these books. And I hope you have a snack or a drink of choice, because yeah, this is definitely going to be a long one. We have so much to talk about. There are so many new things that I haven't talked to you guys about and that I really want to show you. And yeah, I just love sharing everything and anything with you. Like, there is really no wall between us. There is no border. There is literally nothing that I don't want to tell you guys. Wait, that's a double negative. I'm confusing myself. There is nothing that I don't want to tell you. Exactly, yeah, that makes sense. If you guys have any questions before or after watching this video, feel free to leave them down below and I will do my best to answer each and every one of them to the best of my abilities. Enough yapping. Like, I'm already going to be yapping so much about every single book, so enough with this intro. Welcome to your new favorite place on the internet. My name is Bella, and let's get this started. Welcome to the general overview of my bookshelves, or just like my book collection. So I think it's only right for me to start up here. This is where I've always started all of my bookshelf tours. So without further ado, let's get into the very first shelf of my entire book collection. This is the very first shelf, and honestly, nothing has changed from the last time that I did a bookshelf tour. I still have all of my Cassandra Clare books here. We have the Mortal Instruments, the collection of short stories that she's, you know, written in the past couple of years. And then we have the Infernal Devices and the Mortal Instruments again, but like the mural version, because it was a moment of weakness, okay? I gave into the collector's hype and I just thought this would look really cool. And honestly, I don't regret it, because it does look really cool, but I did not need it. Okay, so yeah, this is also a different mural because this is a different trilogy, but I just keep them all together because it just makes sense to me. And then up here we have one of those fake books that came on Fairy Loot. I want to say it doesn't even have the branding. Okay, I think it is Fairy Loot. Ay, Dio. Okay. And then on the inside, what do I even have? Oh, just a bunch of bookmarks. Okay, that's cool. I didn't remember I had a bunch of bookmarks up here. But there we go. This is what I'm hiding on my secret book up here. I also have these character cards. We have quite a... I guess me... Okay, never mind. That's cool. Yeah, we just... God, this is going swimmingly well. Thank you so much for asking. But as you can see, we just have a couple of character cards here. These aren't actually from the Mortal Instruments or even the Infernal Devices. This is from the Last Hours, which is down here. So technically these character cards should not even be up here, but I just keep them up here because what, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. We had one fallen soldier, who's the lucky one. Oh, Julian! I love Julian. So that's really all we have to see here in the first shelf. Again, nothing has changed. As well as in this second shelf, everything remains the same. We have this Will and Gem candle that I still have not lit. Actually, I did light it. Oh, this candle does not look good. What does this mean? Why does it look like this? Okay, tell me what I should do with this candle. It looks weird. Interesting, okay. Anyways, I do have this Will and Gem candle. I need to look up if that's a normal thing. In this shelf, I have even more Cassandra Clare books. We have the Infernal Devices, the original books that I read when I first got into these books. I have my Clockwork Angel necklace, which has oxidized and it does not look cute, but you know, that is extreme. Like, it is very old. Like, this is, I'm talking 15 plus years old. But anyways, we also have a couple of, well, this is actually like a Shadowhunter's codex. So it's not even like short stories. It's just like this annotated by the characters codex. This is another series that I never got around to continuing because I did not care for it. And then we have the Last Hours here. I loved these books. Okay, the Chain of Gold, Chain of Iron, Chain of Thorns, they live in my head rent-free, and that's where these characters come from. So just these look gorgeous on camera. Oh my goodness. And then we do have another fake book up here. This is volume 1. So let's see what I'm hiding here. What is this? I think this is just like a combination of random things that I've gathered throughout the years, and I just kept them here because I have nowhere else to put them. So that checks out. But anyways, that's what goes up here. I also have the other trilogy. Oh my god, this woman can write. So we have her other trilogy, and this one is The Dark Artifices, the first book being Lady Midnight. I actually didn't annotate it as much as I thought I had. I think I annotated Queen of Air and Darkness a lot more. Oh, this cover though, can I? Yeah, I definitely went to town annotating Queen of Air and Darkness. This was a really good trilogy, and I think actually I misspoke. These character cards come from this series, not from The Last Hours. But anyways, I also have this cute little sword, and this is actually from Percy Jackson, so I don't really know what it's doing here, but I don't know. I think I put it here for a reason, and I just can't remember right now. But it has a reason, I promise. And then here we have some other character cards. I do not want to open this, okay? It just takes so long. But, okay, proceeds to open it. Okay, so I think these are just like tarot cards, but it has the characters as the illustrations, of course. So we have Will Herond. I can't believe this is the first one that I pulled. It's serendipity, truly. But we have Will Herondale and Tessa Gray as the Two of Runes, and this is how they look on the back. That basically covers my Shadowhunter collection. I don't really see myself buying any more Shadowhunter books or just Cassandra Clare books in general, but since these books sort of shaped my youth and they really just cemented my love for reading, I don't really see myself getting rid of them anytime soon. Maybe in the future I'll feel differently, but for now there's a reason that these two shelves have never changed in like the last 4 to 5 years. So yeah, anyways, let's continue down here. Ooh, sorry, I was stepping on this stool and I was scared for my life, but now we can get off it. So next up we have my Sarah J Maas books, my Sarah J Maas collection. We have, of course, the Throne of Glass books, which if you guys don't know, this is actually the series that inspired the name of my channel. Like Throne of Pages comes from Throne of Glass. So there you go, a little bit of trivia if you ever wondered where my channel name came from. We have a couple of pins here inspired by the series itself, and then we have A Court of Mist and Fury on display because it really is the best book that she's probably ever written and probably will ever write. I said what I said, nobody can change my mind. And it also, for the longest time, used to be one of my most heavily annotated books. This book, yeah, it just, absolutely. I have no words. The amount of tabs is crazy. I also hate how, like, outside of the book they are, but hey, the past Bella had such a great time reading this. I'm not going to be reading any other Sarah J Maas books, I believe. I don't really think so. So this one holds a special place in my heart just for what it meant to me when I first read it, but I'm probably not going to be continuing with my Sarah J Maas collection either. I also have a Starfall candle, which I also haven't opened. Oh wait, I have lighted this before. Okay, I swore I hadn't. I don't really like the smell apparently because it's still, like, it's pretty full. But anyways, I like the label. It's cute. We have our two main characters. It's not even focusing. Okay, let's move on. We have the Crescent City books as well, and these are also extremely... Actually, it's really funny, okay? I hated myself for this. This is such a random fact, but like, I annotated Crescent City so much, as you can see. I was going crazy with the tabbing and with the annotating. And then when I read the second book, which is House of Sky and Breath, tell me why I don't have a single annotation. Like, why would I do this to myself? I will never forgive myself for doing this. Like, what? Yeah, I do have like a video where I read House of Sky and Breath, so I have like my reactions and everything, but like, why didn't I annotate? I'm so upset at past Bella for doing me dirty. But anyways, that's my Sarah J Maas shelf. Again, nothing really has changed from the past couple of years, but next up we do have a couple of changes. So this is, okay, listen, I know my bookshelf isn't perfect, but I have tried a couple of things here and there. I do try my best to keep a couple of genres together. For example, we have some fantasy here. We have some romantasy, to be more specific. We have the first two books of Crowns of Nyaxia here. We have Serpent of Wings and Night and The Ashes and the Star Cursed. Oh, not the Zoom, I'm sorry. And then we have my collection of the Shatter Me books. This one is really special. I will never get tired of showing it because even though it doesn't, this is not the cool cover. It doesn't match all the others, but this one is really special because Tahada Mafi herself, what's that word, signed it for me, and she even wrote my name right. Like, she knows she doesn't know my name, but she wrote my name, and this is just a really special copy for me, so I will never ever get rid of it. Even though I hated what she did with the new trilogy, these first three books will forever live rent-free in my mind. Warner and Juliet are everything to me. I also have like the two novellas that they put together, which is from Adam and Warner's point of view, I want to say. And yes, next up we have Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. I do have two of her books, and these are like standalone fantasy books, but they're also like, they're kind of romantasy as well. So that's why they're here. And then we have my Jack the Ripper books. This quartet, I remember I used to be so obsessed with it, and I still kind of, like, I would love to reread these books because they're just so cool. They're not necessarily fantasy, they're more like just mystery, thriller, but also it was just, wait, is it fantasy? I don't even remember anymore. I think it's just like crime, and this girl, she's like trying to solve it, and then we have this guy and we become like it was really cool, okay? I loved it. And I know it doesn't really match the vibe of the other romantasy books, but I just don't know where else to put it. And then we have my Mara Dyer trilogy. Oh my god, these books are stuck together. Okay. We have my Mara Dyer trilogy, which Does anybody remember these books? I remember when I first read them, I was in high school and they were so trippy. I felt like I was losing my mind reading these books because I didn't know who to believe. I think Mary Dyer was the very first time that I read a book with an unreliable character or like an unreliable narrator where you didn't really know when she was hallucinating, when she was making things up, when she was just like straight up lying to us. And it was just such a crazy experience. I loved it. And yeah, if you guys haven't read Mary Dyer, I don't know if it stands the test of time, but I would highly recommend it because past me loved these books. And I also loved Noah. Noah and Mara were everything to me. And then next up, I love how colorful this one looks. I have my Avatar books here. I have some fantasy duologies. So you see, I do try to keep up a theme. It doesn't always work because then up here we have like 4-book series, but it's okay. You know, we're working through it. It's a work in progress. First up, I have my 6 Crimson Crane books, the Wicked Fox books. She Who Became the Sun. Wait, give me a second. These 2 books, I'm sorry, they deserve a special mention. This is one of the most incredible duologies. I think I finished it last year or maybe 2 years ago, and I still think about this duology because it was so brutal and beautiful and agonizing, and these characters are going to haunt you for the rest of your life, and it's just so worth it. Absolutely adored it. 10 out of 10 would recommend She Who Became the Sun and He Who Drowned the World. It's only 2 books. You can totally do it. So please, if you're looking for a duology that's going to blow your mind away, do that one. And then, as I mentioned, I do have my Avatar books. I'm currently reading Roku's story, so that's why he's on display. But we also have Yang Chen, we have Kyoshi, and then here we have my Raven Cycle books. This is such a throwback to me. I read this series in high school, but for some reason, I still think about the Raven Boys. Like, this was such a moment on the internet. You know what I mean? Like, it was such a cultural revolution. The amount of fan fiction, the amount of fan arts that this series inspired, it was just revolutionary, like never before done before, you know what I mean? And then I have another trilogy, and this is the Winners trilogy, I think it's called. This is also an oldie but a goodie, and I never want to get rid of this because, as I was mentioning in the first shelf that we were talking about, this entire shelf, it just kind of represents the books that I grew up with and the books that I read when I was first starting to read and to love reading. So even though I don't really see myself rereading these books anytime soon, they still shaped the type of reader that I am, so I don't know if I'd ever want to get rid of them. But anyways, moving on to my danmei shelf. Oh my goodness! Danmei has become a recent love or interest for me. I started reading danmei series a couple of years back, and I started with Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. Didn't enjoy it. I was so confused. I actually DNF'd it, and then I retried with Heaven Official's Blessing, and oh my goodness, this entire series, I love it to death. I love these characters. I love everything that happens in this series. Like, every single volume is so good and so binge worthy. I will never get over how good these books are, and if you guys have been interested in starting your own danmei journey, I 100% recommend Heaven Official's Blessing. I also have these cute figurines that a friend of mine gifted to me for, I think, Christmas or my birthday. And they're just so cute. Like, look at him. Ugh, I love them. I also have the Chinese versions, like the original versions of Heaven Official's Blessing, at least for the first 2 volumes. And they are gorgeous. Like, look at how gorgeous they are. It's just, oh, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Okay, okay. This isn't like the original. This is like the graphic novel edition, but in Chinese. And it's one of the most gorgeous things I own. Like, it's so beautifully illustrated. Even though I can't read Chinese, I still really, oh, this is the note. Oh no, it completely faded away. Okay, I'm gonna have to try and read this off camera. But I know that this came from Alor, so Alor, oh look, they're so cute. My love for Heaven Official's Blessing knows no bounds, so again, if you guys want to try out a danmei series, please give Heaven Official's Blessing a try. You guys will definitely not regret it. But anyways, let me come back. We also have Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation completed. It has a total of 5 volumes. I know there's an extra one with like short stories and such, but I only got it up to 5. And I'm good with that. And then here we have a couple of other series that I've started, but I haven't finished. Well, I did finish the Scum Villains self-saving system. This one was very promising, but it did not deliver, I'm sorry to say. I was having so much fun with this series, and it was just not it. By the third volume, I was just like, get me out of here. But I have also started 3 other danmei series that I am planning to continue and maybe even hopefully finish by 2026. And those are Thousand Autumns, Remnants of Filth, and finally, The Disabled Tyrant's Beloved Pet Fish. I know it's a wild title, and the premise is even crazier, but I promise it is so good and funny and comical and silly and goofy, but also just like so entertaining. Yeah, this shelf is just filled to the brim with entertaining books. So yes, 10 out of 10 recommend going on your danmei era because you're going to have the time of your life. And then the last shelf has a couple of other oldies. We have, of course, the Hunger Games trilogy. We have the Young Elites trilogy. We have Vampire Academy. Tell me you were part of the old booktube days without telling me that you were part of the old booktube days. Just show me you have Vampire Academy or even Bloodline, and I'll be like, yep, you know, you were there since the beginning. And I also have the Scythe trilogy, which is also really, really cool. I really just love this bookshelf. I think it just works, you know, it works for me. I always know where all of my books are, and I know it has a few kinks that I have to work out, but I'm happy with it, okay? Like, I know it has some work, but we're getting there. Like, I make a couple of changes every now and again, and someday we'll get there. But I think that the beauty of constantly working through your bookshelves and your book collection is that every day it gets a little bit closer to being exactly how you want it, and that's the most exciting part for me. So yeah. Anyways, up next we have this bookshelf, which is filled to the brim with some of my all-time favorite books. So let's get right down into it. Let's start up here. Let's go. Probably one of my most, what's that word? When there's like too much, when it's like there is no space for anything else. It's just very much a lot because this is my entire Rick Riordan collection. And here we even have an entire series behind this one book because I just can't make them fit. I also have my Avatar Funko Pops because it just makes sense to me. I don't know why, but it makes sense to me to have the Percy Jackson books and the Avatar gang together. It just makes sense. I kind of love, like, I know it looks cluttered, I know it looks messy, but I kind of love the look of this shelf. I do think that if I keep on collecting this new series that he's coming out with, I'm definitely going to have to make some changes to this shelf because it's just no longer working if I want to add more books, but I just love how it looks, okay? And unfortunately, Momo did suffer an accident and now he has no body. Oh my god, his body is right there. Okay, maybe actually I can paste it. Wait, you guys are... Ah! Oh my god, oh my god. Momo down, Momo down. As I was trying to tell you guys, Momo suffered an accident. Oh my god, this is insane. But as, like, I didn't remember that I had the body, so maybe I can paste it together again and make him whole. But for now, he just lives up in Aang's head, which, you know, he's used to that, but it could totally be better. And then down here, we have my favorites shelf. These are just a collection of some of my all-time favorite books. We do have a shrine to The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue because it's one of those books that I read at a time in my life where I really needed a character like Addie, and I felt so represented. I loved the writing, of course, because V.E. Schwab has been one of my favorite authors for a couple of years now. I have so many different editions of Addie. I don't think I have any new ones since the last time that I showed you guys, but I do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I do have 7 editions of Addie. We have the French version just because I love this cover. We have the ARC that I received that was sent to me by the publishers. We have, oh god, I'm so sorry, I need to move this. We have, I think this is, yeah, this is also the French version, but this is like the hardcover and it has some other goodies inside, like art prints and stuff. We have some pins. This is actually, I don't know why this is here, but this is a pin that was gifted to me and I just have it here. We do have like a page holder, or I guess it's a book holder. You just hold your book like this. I don't know why I'm explaining this to you guys. You probably know what this, okay, not my thumb getting stuck. These are all just goodies that came with the arc because it was like a whole box filled to the brim with goodies. We have like a key, which is obviously important to the plot. We have this journey to the afterlife spray, which was meant to help you sleep. Really cool. It's obviously empty. We do have another candle that I have lighted, but I don't, like, not that much, obviously. And yeah, oh, this is the anniversary edition that a friend of mine got for me. And it was really funny because she was like, please don't get it. And then she lied to me and she was like, I'm so sorry, I couldn't get it. And now it's sold out because it was only like a very specific quantity of copies that they were going to print. And when she told me that she couldn't get it, I was so upset. I was so sad. But she only said that to surprise me. But trust me, that was like such a whirlwind of emotions. Like I wanted to kill her and then I wanted to kiss her. It was just like a whole thing. But we do have other favorite books here, of course. We have this stunning, I don't even know where this is from, like Lit Joy, I want to say. I have so many things that I need to move. Okay. Let me see. Oh, this is such a stunning, like, this is obviously a collector's edition of the Cruel Prince or the Folk of the Air thingy. Like, what is the name of this series? Folk of the Air, Folk of the Air, Folk of the Air. What is the name of the series? It cannot be this hard to tell me the name. Okay, anyways, this is like an exclusive collector's edition of the Cruel Prince trilogy written by Holly Black. Oh, the Folk of the Air. Here we go. It was right there all along. And these are gorgeous editions. Like, they look like actual storybooks. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, look at the gold edges. It has a bookmark, of course. Oh my goodness, this is the Wicked King. This is the Queen of, oh, gorgeous, gorgeous. Ooh, look at the snakes. And then of course we have ooh, this is a gorgeous red. How the King of Elfame Learned to Hate Stories. Internal Illustrations by Ravina Kai. This is gorgeous. Okay, so this is definitely one of my most prized possessions. And this was actually a gift from Aelor. So Aelor, if you're watching, you're such an angel. Oh my goodness. But we do have these two movies. This is basically my Studio Ghibli collection. I have Howl's Moving Castle, all-time favorite movie, and Grave of the Fireflies, which Jamie gifted to me. She used to be a booktuber. I don't know if she still makes videos, but she sent me Grave of the Fireflies, and she was like, I'm sorry, but you're welcome. And this is one of the most traumatizing yet beautiful movies I have ever seen, and probably will ever see, but definitely look up the trigger warnings if you're thinking of watching Grave of the Fireflies. This is also from the box that got sent to me with the Addie LaRue arc. It's just like a thermos with a quote, and also the logo from the bookstore that one of our main characters works in, which is so cool. Like, it's like you have merch, like if it was an actual bookstore, you know what I mean? So I love that. But I do want to show you guys a couple of the other books that I have here in my favorites shelf. We have Mary Oliver's Felicity. It's a collection of poems, and I loved it. It's so short, but it definitely packs a punch, as every other short book that I've read in my life, because apparently the hardest hitting books are the shortest ones. It's been proven scientifically. We also have Stoner by John Williams, another fantastic read. This was a gift, and it was truly one of those books that just takes you by surprise, and it really crept up on me. I had no idea that it was going to become a new favorite, but it did, because I cried my eyes out reading this, and it just changed the way that I view life and the way that I view everything, really. We also have Normal People by Sally Rooney, The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, a sort of Kaisen, which I read last year in January, literally the first book of 2025. This is what I started my year with. It was fantastic. Alone with You in the Ether, If We Were Villains by Emil Rio. It's not really an all-time favorite, but I don't have anywhere else to put it, so it's kind of just here for a little while I find its rightful place. We also have Mary Oliver's Devotions, and this has to be my favorite collection of poetry. It is so beautiful and heartfelt, and it truly changes your perspective in life. It has some of the most gorgeous poems I've ever read, I've ever had the honor of reading, and it's just life-changing. It really is. I would recommend this to everyone that I know. We also have Babel, and this is the arc that I was so grateful to receive. I also annotated the heck out of it. Like, look at the amount of tabs. It's actually crazy. But I loved Babel. Yeah, this is crazy. The fact that I have an arc of one of my favorite books by R.F. Kuang is crazy to me. And then I have this gorgeous edition of The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. It has illustrations on the inside. Oh god, this is gonna be so hard to show you guys. It has like these types of illustrations on the inside, and it adds so much to the story. I had been wanting that copy for months and months and months. And when I finally got it, I was like, oh, this was meant to be. It's just so gorgeous. Those are the books that I have on my favorites shelf. This shelf definitely needs some work as well, just because I have so many other favorites that don't get a spot here because of how my bookshelves are organized, but I'm really happy with this one as well. So next up we have my white fantasy books. That's kind of the theme. Okay, sorry, I got off the stool once again. So that's kind of the theme that I tried to go for. Obviously, Queen of Nothing kind of messed that up, but apart from her, most of them are white and all of them are fantasy. So it kind of worked out. Sorry, you need to go here. Thank you. So obviously we have my Cruel Prince books on display because I do love this series. I mean, if I'm gonna have a collector's edition of an entire series, you need to love the original. So of course I have it on display. I've reread this series so many times at this point, and it's just always such a fun time. This is how they look together. I didn't go crazy with the annotations, but you can definitely tell that I have fun with them while reading them. This series definitely holds a special place in my heart. And behind these books, I do have an Ember in the Ashes. This is the paperback edition, and I'm only hiding it because I do have the hardcover. The only hardcover that I don't have is A Torch Against the Night, which really just it makes me upset, but I'm trying to get over it. Like, I'm letting go of my fist because it's not a big deal, okay? I do have the entire Ember in the Ashes series, and I loved this series so much. I wasn't the biggest fan of the finale, but the first two books, maybe even until the third one, they're all incredible books, and I loved reading them. So I also have the Nevernight books. We have Nevernight and Dark Dawn. Oh, because I don't have, oh my goodness, I completely forgot about that. I don't have the second book on hardcover. So where is it? Oh, it's here. Yeah, because I also have books here. This is where I have the sequel, God's Grave. Oh my goodness, the way that I completely forgot. I originally read Nevernight as a paperback, but then I was able to get the hardcover of the first book. And I guess in my mind, I was like, okay, eventually I'll get the hardcover of God's Grave, but I never did. I never did, and I completely forgot about it. But anyways, yep, this is my white fantasy books. I have the other series that Holly Black is working on in the Cruel Prince world. And then I also have the Poppy War trilogy by R.F. Kuang, the first books that she ever wrote, which is crazy considering how good they are, except for The Burning God, okay? The Dragon Republic is definitely the best book out of the three. The Burning God being the worst. Okay, so next up we have, it's not exclusively a Six of Crows shelf, but we do have the character cards here. And I feel like these cards are emblematic at this point in or on my channel, just because they've been there for a couple of years and I never see me taking them off because I love the look of them. I of course love these character cards. They are so iconic, so stunning. And I feel like they add a little je ne sais quoi to my bookshelf, you know what I mean? So even though this shelf isn't entirely or like exclusively Leigh Bardugo coated, I still love the look of the cards. So there we go. As I mentioned, we have my Leigh Bardugo books. We have the Six of Crows duology, the cool collector's editions. Then we have Ninth House. We have other fantasy books. We have Circe and Ariadne, which are Greek retellings. We have The Starless Sea and the Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. And yeah, that's kind of what we're working with in this shelf. We have this gorgeous pin that I just don't know what to do with, but I've always loved it because it's just so cool. And we have this candle called Rafkan Myths, which I have definitely burned. I mean, it's still missing a bit, but I did like this one, and I don't want it to end. And that's pretty much this shelf. But then next up, we have my V.E. Schwab shelf. This used to exclusively only hold V.E. Schwab books, but of course, we've had to change things up a bit. But this is my entire V.E. Schwab collection. We have this Savage Song in our Dark Duet, A Darker Shade of Magic, Vicious, of course! We have her middle grade trilogy series. We have this graphic novel that I did not enjoy. It's called Extraordinary, and I just did not, it was not for me, but I don't want to get rid of it, so it's just there, you know? We do have this Dany Targaryen Funko Pop that my friend gifted to me so many years ago. And I was just like, it just fits perfectly here. You know what I mean? I don't know. It like gives me the vibe of wanting to be in the V.E. Schwab shelf. I also have these tiny copies of V.E. Schwab books because I can't remember where it came from. I think it was the Darker Shade of Magic exclusive Illumicrate thing that they did. And it just came with these tiny copies of all of the books that she had published at that point. And I just found it cute, so yeah, it's there. We do have Masters of Death by Olivia Blake, and even though this isn't V.E. Schwab, I just don't know where to put it, you know what I mean? So it's just kind of here, and I feel like it doesn't mess up the scheme too much. I do have this book stamp that was a gift, a birthday gift from a friend of mine, and I love this. This is really, really cool. I adore it. I love doing it with the books that I've read and that I love and that I know I'm never going to get rid of. I don't do it to all of my books, obviously, because if sometime or if someday I want to get rid of it, I won't be able to because it says my name and everything, but yeah. This was such a cool gift, honestly. And then we have even more copies of Vicious and Vengeful. These are the European covers. I fought so hard to get these copies because you could only get them in European bookstores, and back then it was really hard to ship or like to buy from those places because I only have an American P.O. box, and a lot of people don't like shipping to P.O. boxes. I don't know why. It was like a hassle to get these books because I had to wait for Book Depository. Who remembers Book Depository? Oh my goodness. I had to wait for Book Depository to have them back in stock because they were forever sold out. So when I finally got them, I felt like I finally knew what happiness felt like, and it was just glorious. So that's why I have them on display, because I fought tooth and nail to get these editions. And then I also have another V.E. Schwab book, Gallant, but the other non-V.E. Schwab book that I have here is Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. This is a fantasy book, of course, you know, reviewed by George R.R. Martin, but I don't really have anywhere else to put it. I think I'm definitely going to have to change it when I get the rest of the series because I do want to continue reading it this year. So I'm gonna have to look for a different place for it when I eventually get to buying the other books. But yeah, this is my V.E. Schwab shelf. Next up, we have this shelf, which is kind of like fantasy as well. This is just another fantasy book, but mostly black covers, you know what I mean? Well, not really, because these are like colorful. You know what? I'm not really sure what I'm doing with this shelf. It's just another shelf of fantasy books at this point. We have another Emma Wang book, which is Blood Over Bright Haven. Fantastic book, if I do say so myself. We have the first two books of the Jade City trilogy, or I know this has, I know the series has a name, but I can't remember it. Oh God. Oh, the Green Bone Saga. It was right there. I need to learn how to read. I'm sorry. We have the completed trilogy of The Daughter of Smoke and Bone, written by Laini Taylor. This is one of those series that I was also reading when I was growing up. I read it in high school, I think 10th grade or 11th grade, and I adored it. Okay, it was so good. Laini Taylor, the woman that she is. Then we have The Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. It's hidden by this Tower of Pisa thing that I have here. And I only have it here because I thought it would be fun to kind of put it next to Babel. I know it's not the same thing, but they're both towers. My brain works in mysterious ways. I don't really understand it. I just follow what it tells me to do. And this is what she wanted to do, so I did it. We also have Catabasis. Ooh, I read this last year and it was incredible. Look at the amount of tabs. It was a crazy experience also because I read it for a 24-hour readathon and I finished it in 2 days. That's crazy. That's really crazy because this has over 500 pages. So it really is crazy. But I had the time of my life, if I do say so myself. Oh, this one was really good. I read it last year as well for the same 24-hour readathon as Catabasis, and it was an incredible fantasy book. I definitely want to read more books like this, so if you guys have any recommendations on books that feel like the Raven Tower, please let me know. And then I have these cool editions of the ooh, look at this. I have these editions of the Final Empire, the Well of Ascension. Oh, these look so good together. The Hero of Ages. This is the first trilogy on the Mistborn universe. I don't even know if that's the right name for it because I know there are so many other books now, but this is where it all started. And I remember loving this series. Oh my goodness. The last shelf on this bookshelf is this bad boy. And this is just science fiction. You know, I think if you've been here for a while, you know I'm not the biggest sci-fi fan, but I'm definitely trying to branch out and try different books. And so far, these are some of the sci-fi books that I have enjoyed and that I have just collected over the years. We have the We have the Illuminae Files trilogy. We have the Lux series, which is kind of like a fantasy sci-fi, but it is so good. Okay, it has aliens. It works so much. And this used to be my obsession when I was growing up. Oh my goodness, I would not put these books down. They became my entire personality, and I will always and forever love the Obsidian or the Lux series books because they're so good. And I don't feel like they got the love that they deserve. I said what I said. We also have the Darkest Minds, which is another series that I completely fell head over heels in love with. I used to cry whenever I would listen to Wouldn't It Be Nice? Because this is one of the songs that they dance to when they think that they're about to die. And it was just like, oh my God. This is my ultimate ship. I will die for them. I would die with them. I adored it. We also have the, what is this? The Angel Fall series, End of Days, Penryn and the End of Days trilogy. And it's a funny story because I actually unhauled this years ago, but of course I never really found a place to actually unhaul them. So they were just, you know, gathering dust in the inside of on the inside of my closet. And then one day I was like, you know what if I reread it? And then if I like it, I can keep it. And then I read all of them in like a day, and I was like, why would I ever want to get rid of these books? They're so good. I love the writing. I am so obsessed with everything that is happening. So that just goes to show, sometimes you unhaul books, but maybe you just need to give them another chance and they can surprise you. So that was this shelf. As you can see, we have, you know, we have a lot of fantasy books. We have a couple of sci-fi. We have a couple of, you know, things to work through. But overall, I'm really happy with this shelf. So moving on to my rainbow shelf. This is also another shelf that hasn't changed a lot in the past couple of years. Like, this has been a rainbow shelf since 2020, I want to say. But of course, the books have changed. Whenever I get new ones, I'm like, oh, I could totally switch this one for another green one. So let's get into it. This is my red shelf, and as you can see, it's pretty self-explanatory. I only put red books here. This is a red envelope that I got for 2023 Chinese New Year, and it was really cool because I don't know if you guys know this, but my brother actually lives in Taiwan. So yeah, I got to spend the Chinese New Year with him over there, and it was just such an incredible experience. So of course, I never really want to get rid of this envelope. And this is supposed to be like a bookmark. It has a dragon on one side and this on the other side. I wish I knew what it meant. I wish I knew what the symbol meant. If you guys know what it means, if we have any Chinese speakers or readers in the chat, please let me know. Behind that envelope, we do have Cruel Beauty, Interview with the Vampire. This is such a throwback. Oh my goodness. We have All About Love, another copy of A Darker Shade of Magic, Fangs, which is one of the best graphic novels. It's so short, but it's so cute, and it's this love story between a werewolf and a vampire, and it's just so cute. Like, I had such a fun time reading it. It's just so good, okay? It was so good. It definitely deserves to be on display. We also have this Tata Funko Pop. If you know Tata, then you're a friend of mine. We have Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, Clara and the Sun, This Side of Paradise, interesting facts about space. Yeah, we just have like an interesting collection of red books up here. We do have Luna and the Lie, which is by Mariana Zapata, and I do like to keep my Mariana Zapata books together down there. But this one was an insult. Like, this one was so bad. I kind of want to forget it ever existed. So that's why I kind of use it here and then I never see it. So that's a win-win for me, truly. Then down here, we have my orange books, and here we have these tarot cards that I don't really know where I got them from. I think they came in like a subscription box. They're like wooden as well. They're like really good quality. I just don't remember who they're inspired by or where they come from. This could totally be Alina and this could totally be the Darkling, but I could totally be wrong as well. But anyways, these are my orange books. Oh, we also have a Funko Pop of Todoroki, one of my favorite characters from My Hero Academia, and this Funko Pop is just insanely cool. Like, look at this. That's just crazy. Okay, so of course, probably the first book that I see here is the Divine Comedy. Like, how could I not bring it up? I did read the Divine Comedy last year, August, September, and it was definitely an experience. I have an entire video on it if you're interested. If you've ever wondered if you should read the Divine Comedy, if you would even like it, like what is it even about? I have an entire video dedicated to my experience reading the Divine Comedy, so I would highly recommend it. I do have Muse of Nightmares by Laini Taylor on display because this duology is one of my all-time favorites. I laughed, I cried, it reshaped my life, it determined my personality for months. It was just so good. And we have a couple of other orange yellow, okay, Todoroki, perdón. We have a couple of other orangey yellowish books, which is a perfect lead into my yellow shelf. So this one is a little bit more, you know, like I'm definitely running out of space in this one because for some reason I just have a lot of yellow books. But of course I have The Priory of the Orange Tree on display because it's one of the biggest books that I've owned, and it was like a 3.5 star, and I feel like since I spent so much time and energy reading it, the least it could do is look good on my shelf, so that's why I have it on display. I do have a Chimmy Funko Pop, of course. I have this gorgeous Van Gogh pin, and it's one of my favorite things ever. Like, it's just so gorgeous. I don't feel like this camera is doing it justice, but it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I also have another Van Gogh pin. I totally forgot about this one. But that is gorgeous, just as gorgeous, honestly. We do have the little string that was part of like my graduation cap, so I felt like that was a nice addition to the shelf. We do have a Coraline Funko Pop as well because I love Coraline. It's one of my all-time favorite movies as well, and it just seems fitting for her to be on this yellow shelf. And that's really all there is to show from this yellow shelf. Not a lot has changed. I do probably, like, I don't want to get rid of this book. Okay, if you guys saw my reading stats or like my reading summary for 2025, then you know that this was the last book that I read of the year, and it was also the worst one. But I don't want to get rid of it because it was a gift from my boyfriend and it was for a reading challenge, and it just has like sentimental value. And I guess every time that I see it, I'll remember how much it made me laugh, the fact that it was such a horrible reading experience. So I don't know. I'm like on the fence of getting rid of it, but for now it's just going to be staying there. Next up, we have my green shelf, and of course this has been the newest addition to this shelf. This was an anniversary gift by my boyfriend, one of the best gifts that he will probably ever give me in my entire life, because this is one of the most gorgeous Frankenstein editions that I have ever seen. It has like these pop-up things as well. Like, I don't even want to touch it because I'm scared. But it has these interactive elements. It has like envelopes, and it has like this cute little cutout. Let me see if I can open it. Like, look, that is just so cool. I'm actually obsessed, Your Honor. It's just so cool. And here, let me see if I can open his eye. Like, oh my God. Like, it's just so cool. How do people come up with this? They truly are such creative beings. And apart from the interactive elements, we also have these gorgeous illustrations for every beginning of a chapter. It's just so good. We have a map of Europe back in 1818, and I don't want to touch it. I feel like things are coming apart, and I don't want them to come apart. But this definitely had to go on display, okay? This is too gorgeous to not have on display. So there we go, Frankenstein, or The Modern Prometheus, illustrated by Mina Lima. And then, of course, we do have some other books here. We have The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which used to be displayed for the longest time in this shelf, but, you know, Frankenstein is here now, so we do have this Toph Funko. Now that I think about it, Toph is the only one that's not part of the gang. That kind of makes me sad. But if I move Toph, then I have nothing to put here because I don't really have any other green elements that I could add to this. But it's so sad that Toph is the only one. Okay, okay. I need to rethink my entire life now. I did not realize that Toph was by herself. Oh, that's so sad. Maybe I can put Appa here. And then she's not alone, but she doesn't really like Appa. I feel like I would be doing her a disservice. Okay, I need to think about this off camera. But anyways, this is my green shelf. And then moving on, we have my light blue shelf. On display, I do have Heaven Official's Blessing Volume 3 because this is one of my all-time favorite covers from that series. I mean, all of the covers that they put out for the volumes are absolutely gorgeous, but this one, there's just something about Volume 3 that really speaks to me. And I love that it kind of matches the rest of the light blue books. I do have my Polaroid camera here, but excuse me. I do have a Corpse Bride or Emily Funko Pop from the movie Corpse Bride. Also one of my favorite Funko Pops. Like, I love her to death, no pun intended. And then let me just show you like a quick overview of the books that we have here. We have Sally Rooney, Kiki's Delivery Service, Eva Evergreen. Oh, this was such a good book. It was so cute. It was so heartwarming. It was really reminiscent of Kiki's Delivery Service, but it also had its own kind of magic. So I really appreciated this one. And then behind Heaven Official's Blessing Volume 3, we do have Final Fantasy X and X-2 HD Remaster. Listen, it doesn't have to make sense. As long as it makes me happy. This is one of my all-time favorite video games. It's actually one of the very first video games that I ever played back when I was 12 or 13 years old. And this also kind of matches the vibe of this shelf, but that's the thing. It doesn't really stand up on its own, so that's why it's hidden. But if I could, once I find a way to make it stand up, I think I will be returning this to where all the other Heaven Official's Blessing books are. And then I'll have Final Fantasy on display just because it looks so cool, okay? It looks so cool. And then if we go down, we have my darker blue shelf. We have a People Up figurine because I love him so much. Oh God, just zooming into him made me so happy. We have this Strange the Dreamer candle that I have never burnt because guys, oh my goodness, I need to show this to everyone. Anyone who will listen needs to know how gorgeous this candle is and the reason that I've never burnt it. And it's because it looks like this. Like, what do you mean? Why would I ever want to burn a candle that is this beautiful? Also, oh God, okay, never mind. It smells divine though. Maybe I do need to burn it because it smells so good, but it's so cute. And it's like so in theme with Strange the Dreamer because obviously the character's skin is blue. Why am I so bad at closing candles? Like, this needs to be studied. We do have this Howl and Sophie pin, which is the love of my life. Like, it's so gorgeous and intricate and detailed and beautiful. And it goes so well with the vibe of this shelf. We also have this Harry Styles thing that I got from his concert in Chicago. It's like this puzzle piece. I never really knew what it was for, but hey, it's like a reminder that I went to the Harry Styles concert. We have these Pokemon cards, or like this pack of Pokemon cards that I bought with my boyfriend when we were in Madrid, and they're just there, okay? It kind of matches also the color scheme of this shelf, so I was like, why not include it here? In this shelf, we also have some other blue books, like The Stationery Shop. Let's not even talk about this book. This book completely, okay. This book completely destroyed me and any sense of happiness that I felt in my heart. Oh God. We have another copy of Daughter of Smoke and Bone just because this is the original copy that I read because a friend gifted it to me. It even has her note and everything. It was really cute. It was like the first time that anyone had ever gifted me a book. So this really means a lot to me. And that's probably why I would never get rid of it. But I do have like the hardcover of it. So I don't know. But anyways, we do have my Cat Sebastian books, which I read both of these in November, December, and I loved them so much. I loved them so much. So that's basically the blue shelf. And then finally, we have my purple shelf. This one is also looking a little bit, what's that word? Like it looks a little bit too much because it doesn't have enough space for more books. And I don't really like stacking so many books on top of the other, but sometimes you just don't have a choice. So here I do have another Percy Jackson book that just simply did not fit on the Percy Jackson or like the Rick Riordan shelf, so it does have to be here, but it matches the purple of it all, so it's okay. We also have the Lunar Chronicles up here. We have Cinder, Scarlet, Cress, and Winter, and also Stars Above, and also Fairest. And then we have The Girl Who Drank the Moon, which was a gorgeous middle grade. It was so beautiful. It was such a gorgeous story. And then up here we have this graphic novel, which is inspired by BTS. It's called Seven Fates Choco. It was an experience for sure. I don't think I'll be continuing this series, but it's just like fun to have, you know? And that's my purple shelf. Next up, we have this bookshelf, which has my entire classics collection. Who remembers when my entire classic collection could fit into one single shelf? And now I need to use 3 different shelves just for all of them to fit. And they don't fit. But yeah, we have 3 shelves dedicated to my classics collection. We have some... what is this? We have some poetry horror, we have some pink books, we have some romance, and we have some book of the month books. So let's get into it. Let's get started because this one's a doozy. I do have a separate video for my entire classics collection, so I don't think I'll be getting into too much detail, but I do want to show you guys how it's looking. I did try, okay, keyword try. I did try to organize these alphabetically, at least the Penguin editions, because I love how they look. I do have a separate shelf for other books that are like different editions, but for the Penguin Classics, I really wanted to keep all of them together, and I tried my best to organize them alphabetically. So we have a couple of A's, a couple of B's, a couple of Dostoevsky, of course, on display as he should be. Crime and Punishment, best book he's ever written. But we do have some others, of course. And then we have the Count of Monte Cristo. We'll never get tired of holding this book and showing you guys how, oh my goodness, just the amount of tabs will forever be crazy to me. This definitely still has to be one of the most heavily annotated books that I own. And I do have a dedicated video to the Count of Monte Cristo, probably one of my favorite videos that I've ever done and will ever do, if we're being honest. Okay, so if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. We do have this Mozart. I want to say, I don't remember who. You can't really see it on the camera, but it says Mozart. I promise it says Mozart. Here we have some other alphabetical. I said try, okay? If you find any wrong or like something that's out of order, don't blame me, blame my 3 a.m. brain. And then here we have a continuation of all of my Penguin Classics editions. We have Les Mis on display, of course. We have a couple of these. Look at how, like, these spines look so nice. I'm so sorry. I used to hate cracked spines, but the more that you read, the more you realize a well-loved book looks like this. It really does. And here we're transitioning into the other editions of classics that I have, and I thought that Frankenstein was the perfect way to do that since I have so many editions of Frankenstein. We have, of course, the 1818 edition that I read last year and I annotated, and I love the look of it. It's just it was such an incredible experience to reread Frankenstein and to be able to put my thoughts and, you know, opinions and other things that I looked up online to like really delve deep into the story and to fully understand what I was reading and to make sure that I was really just like capturing everything that Mary Shelley was putting down. You know what I mean? So this is the 1818 edition. We have this gorgeous collector's graphic edition. We have this other edition as well. And excuse me. And then here we have these editions of Frankenstein, Dorian, and a William Shakespeare collection of sonnets and a lover's complaint. Honestly, this was like a random buy because I think I was traveling and I really wanted a book to take as a memento of that trip. And so I got the sonnets and a lover's complaint. And I think this ended up being like a 3-star. I guess I'm not really a big fan of the sonnets. And we have these other really cool editions, but they're kind of, with time, they do kind of like, that's like, I don't know how to, oh my God, okay, I made it worse. But anyways, yeah, with time, I think maybe because of the humidity or something, it just kind of, yeah, it loses a little bit of the fake cloth. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. But yeah, we have Frankenstein, we have Dracula. Oh, this looks divine. I wish this is one of those cases where the cover is definitely better than the book. And then we have the Phantom of the Opera. These three books, they're incredible. They look so cool together. Oh, these are so cool. This is the third and final shelf of classics. Here we have a combination of modern classics, for example, La Sombra del Viento, which is considered a modern classic. We have The Picture of Dorian Gray, but this is like the Barnes & Noble edition, which has other works by him, like plays and, well, other things that he wrote. We have an Agatha Christie collection. This has 3 of her mysteries, and they were really cool. We have this gorgeous edition of the Iliad and the Odyssey by Homer. Look at the end papers though. Look at the end papers. I wish I could display this. I really wish I could. It's just so gorgeous. It's definitely one of the most gorgeous editions of anything that I will ever own. And then this is the original copy of the Odyssey that I read. Oh, look at the amount of tabs, y'all. I'm so crazy. I'm sorry. Like, I've come to realize I'm a little bit insane, and I think I'm okay with that. Next up, we have my Leo Tolstoy books. We have Anna Karenina, or Anna Karenina. What, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm sorry, y'all. But we have this heavily annotated copy. I adore my copy of Anna Karenina. Karenina? I don't, okay. And then we have War and Peace, which I don't really talk about it much, but I have read it. I think at this point, I read it like at 2018, 2017, and it still remains one of my greatest achievements because this is one of those books that I thought I would never read just because I wasn't smart enough. My brain wouldn't be able to handle it. There's like over 500 characters. I thought it was going to be too hard, but turns out it wasn't hard enough. So there we go. I read War and Peace. Still one of the craziest copies that I own just because of how I annotated it and everything, but I have no regrets. It was such an incredible experience. We have some other Russian classics. We do have this Dostoevsky one here, but since it doesn't match the Penguin classics, I decided to put it with the rest of my Russian classics. And then here we have some other classics. How many times have I said classics at this point? You see, Giovanni's Room I think is considered a modern classic, and so is The Well of Loneliness, I believe. So there we go. We have my Camus collection, which I adore. I love these books so much. I also really enjoyed Virginia Woolf's Mrs. Dalloway and A Room of One's Own. The Waves, it was hard. It was hard to get through The Waves, but it was still a really good time. And of course, The Bell Jar is one of my favorite classics ever. So yes, fantastic book. And then we have Cien Años de Soledad, which I did not like. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about it, okay? This was like a 1-star, and I'm sorry. If you love Gabriel Garcia Marquez, I'm so happy for you, but I don't. So that's my hot take. So that's my classics collection. As you can see, it makes me really happy, the fact that I need to use 3 different shelves just so that I can fit all of my classic books, because not so long ago, I only used like 1 shelf, and now that I'm using 3, it really feels like it's like a visual representation of how I've grown and changed as a reader, and I really love seeing it. So yeah, so here we have my poetry collection, and then here we have my horror collection. I know it's crazy to have your poetry and horror in the same shelf, but this is what I did. I kind of used this as a divider, so both of these are horror. This is horror. Yeah, it's kind of like the story of Mary Shelley and how she came to write Frankenstein. So it's like horror adjacent, I guess. And I just thought it was a cool way to kind of, since I don't have that many poetry books, I thought it would be fine, you know? And I don't really have that many horror books either, even though I love reading about horror, and I recently read A Fig for All the Devils. Look at this, cute, very minimal. It was a good time. And this is horror as well. So as you can see, my horror shelf is definitely growing. Maybe I'll have to change this up a bit as I get more horror books, but for now I think this works, okay? Don't Let the Forest In is on display because it is one of the best books that I read in 2025. C.G. Drews just knows how to build one of the most atmospheric, one of the most horrifying and spine-tingling stories that you will ever read. So if you're looking for a good horror story, absolutely, yes. And then we have The Unabridged Journals of Sylvia Plath. this was an experience to read because it's basically like looking into the inside of a teenage girl. And if you've ever been a girl and if you've ever been a teenager, you know how turbulent those times can be. I think my favorite of this pile, I don't even know. Oh my goodness, maybe Rumi, just because there's so many poems here that resonated so deeply with me. But also Kafka's Letters to Milena was so, like, it was so personal and so gut-wrenching at times, but beautiful and honest and raw and authentic. I really enjoyed this one as well. Just look at the amount of tabs. That's how you know that I enjoyed a book. Ooh, an excellent host. I will never get tired of showing you guys this book just because it is so gorgeous. Look at this. It is so good. And it is so short, literally shorter than like 50 or 60 pages, but it packs a punch. And then we also have another Chelsea Summers book, and it's A Certain Hunger. I just love, like, whatever they're doing here, whoever decided to design these books like this, please keep going and please take over all the other books because this aesthetic, this design, this style is so up my alley. I am obsessed. Next up, we have my pink shelf, and for this one, I don't know for how much longer I'm going to be keeping this one just because, like, yeah, it looks cute, but I don't know how functional it is. It does help with a lot of books that I don't really have a space for, like all of the literary fiction ones. I'll show this to you guys with the disclaimer that I don't think I'll be keeping this shelf the same way for much longer, but basically I just decided to put together all of my pink books, no matter if it's literary fiction or horror or YA romance or contemporary romance or middle grade. Like, there's just such a collection of different genres here, but I thought it would be cute, and that's what I decided to do, and it's been like this for a couple of years now. We do have Lore Olympus on display here just because it's just cute, okay? It's cute. This is a photo album of Polaroids that I've taken through the years, and this is the little bow that was on the first gift that my boyfriend ever made for me. So I'm a very sentimental person, okay? I keep a lot of random things. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but that's definitely one of the most random things that I've kept, but it just means a lot to me, okay? This is my romance shelf, and it doesn't really fit, okay? I feel like I have a lot more romance books, but because I only have one shelf dedicated to romance, I haven't really been able to make like a great romance shelf for myself. But as you can see, we have my Mariana Zapata books here, we have my Emily Henry, we have Jenny Han, we have BK Boris and Helen Huang, and also Talia Hibbert. I have, you know, this trilogy, but obviously it doesn't fit straight, so I had to put the other two up here. You see, it's definitely a work in progress. I do have some favorite books here, like People We Meet on Vacation. Give me a second. Okay. Like, Emily Henry definitely has some incredibly fantastic romance books that I will never get tired of annotating. Like, her books definitely have to be one of the most annotated romance books that I own. Oh, actually, Book Lovers doesn't have that many annotations, but look at Happy Place. Look at Funny Story. Like, there's just so much to annotate because her books feel so authentic and genuine, and I feel like there's so much that you can relate to with her characters and the stories, or like the situations that they get themselves in and the feelings that they have to experience. It's so good, okay? And yeah, BK Borison as well. Oh my god, let me just show you guys how annotated. The amount, it's crazy. Oh, sorry. The amount of tabs is crazy, but I love it. I know I keep calling it crazy, but it's honestly one of my favorite things to do with the books that I love. Just annotate them so that I can remember how much they mean to me and how much I enjoyed my time reading them. So this is a Lego set that I built after my boyfriend gifted it to me. He did give it to me for Valentine's. Oh my god, we weren't even dating when he got me this. This was a Valentine's Day gift when we were still dating. Ugh. The man that he is. This is so pretty. Ah! It only felt right to put this on my romance shelf because obviously this is where it all started. And then the last shelf on this bookshelf is my Book of the Month books. So I feel like you guys have seen this before and not a lot has changed. I just put all of the Book of the Month books that I read and loved. I put them here because I never want to forget how much I enjoyed them, especially Thizzlefoot. This was a 5 out of 5 star. The Anthropocene Reviewed was also incredible. Such an interesting read. Starling House. Ooh, this was another 5 out of 5, or like a 4.5. It was really close to being perfect. And yeah, so that was this shelf. As you can see, a very eclectic group of books. We have classics, we have a horror and poetry, we have literary fiction, romance. Yeah, definitely a little bit of everything. Next up, we have my manga shelf. We have both shonen and shoujo, so let's get right on into it, starting up here. So the first shelf has my entire Fullmetal Alchemist collection. If you guys don't know, this is the first anime and the first manga series that I ever read, and it forever remains one of my all-time favorites. Dare I say even #1, because it just means a lot to me, okay? The Elric brothers, Roy Mustang, Riza Hawkeye, like every single one of these characters just means so much to me. And these editions are gorgeous. I'm so happy that I have every single one of them. Every single volume has a different character, except for the last one. The last volume is 18 and it has Edward Elric. So the first one starts with baby Edward and then the last one is with adult Edward, which I really love that full circle moment. We also have my Deathnote volumes. The last time that I showed this to you guys, they were not organized in order, but now I fixed it, okay? Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're good. We're so good. Next up, we have my Attack on Titan shelf. Oh my, wait, what's this? Wait, where does this go? Okay, I'm confused. I have no idea where this goes, but for now we'll keep it up here. As I was saying, next up we have my Attack on Titan shelf. I do have the omnibus editions. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 12 omnibus editions plus this complete color edition graphic novel based on Levi's short stories called Attack on Titan No Regrets. It's an absolutely brilliant collection of basically Levi's backstory and how he came to be who he is when we meet him on the first volume of Attack on Titan. We do have some Funko Pops. Of course, we have Levi, Mikasa, Levi again, but all bloodied up. I do have this Melody keychain that used to be my Metro card in Taiwan, but I put it here because without it, he falls, okay? Like, he can't stand up straight. Ay, perdón. Yeah, like without it, he just falls. So I use her as a way for him. I'm so sorry, Melody. I know you deserve better, but this is what we have to work with. And then I have this gorgeous, like, look at him. Look at Aaron. He is absolutely slaying the house, slaying the boots down. What's the saying? I don't know. I adored reading the omnibus editions for the Attack on Titan series because they were so cool. It was an incredible time. I started collecting them before the last couple of volumes came out, so I had to wait with the rest of the world to see how Hayami Isayama was going to end this series. I remember those days. It was really like the golden days of my manga collecting. Next up, we have my Demon Slayer shelf, which is also my Spy Family shelf. And here we have the entire collection of Demon Slayer, basically. Of course, I have volume 8 on display because since I do have this cute little figurine, I felt like it was only natural for me to want to display it. I also have a Nezuko Funko Pop and a Tanjiro one because just look at them. They're glorious. They're so good. I also have his earrings. That was a whole moment in my life. And as you can see, I have a couple of manga panels here just as background because I thought it would look really cool. And then as we start my Spy Family collection, we have some Spy Family manga panels as well. And I just thought it would make the shelf look really cool. And I think I was correct. Like, it just adds some dimension to it. It adds some depth. It just looks really cool, okay? It looks divine, in my opinion. Spy Family hasn't finished, so I still have a couple of volumes that I need to collect. But I'm gonna worry about that when the time comes. I still have, like, tiny space here, maybe for 1 or 2 more volumes. But I don't know what I'm going to do when I need to get volume 15. You know what I mean? But that's for future Bella to consider. Because next up we have my Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man shelf. I did the same with the manga panels, and then in the middle I switched to Chainsaw Man because I just thought it would look really cool, and eventually I want to do the rest with Fullmetal and Attack on Titan, but for now I started with these two because, you know, they're easier to grab. I do have a Sally Funko Pop because I love Nightmare Before Christmas. I have this really cool keychain of, you know, inspired by Chainsaw Man. We have this Kingdom Hearts pin that was gifted to me by a friend. If you're watching, Val, thank you. And yeah, we just have a lot of knickknacks on this shelf because I used to collect a bunch of different things of Jujutsu Kaisen because it used to be my favorite. Like, yeah, I used to adore Jujutsu Kaisen. I kind of gave up on collecting it because I was just not enjoying my time with it. I stopped reading up until volume 21. I just didn't, yeah, like I just stopped enjoying it. I was not having fun anymore, but I do have like a bunch of little figurines. This used to be like a phone case that a friend hand painted for me, and I never want to get rid of it, so I'm just using it as decoration now. But yeah, this is my Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man shelf. Next up, we have my, well, other manga series. We have Kaiju number 8. I have up until volume 14, but of course I'm going to keep on collecting it no matter how many volumes it has. We have the first 2 volumes of Golden Kamui, but I haven't continued with the series just because it's not really a priority at this moment. I think my biggest priority is definitely Alice in Borderland. Oh my goodness, I read volume 4 in December and it just keeps getting better. It's one of those stories that just keep impressing me because you think it won't get better, but then it does, and it keeps blowing my brain, or like blowing my mind, because it's just so good. We also have a couple of iconic manga series like Bleach, Fairy Tail, The Promised Neverland. Like, we definitely have a collection of different series here, and these are series that I've tried, like I've dipped my foot into their universe, and I'm interested to continue, but I still haven't found the time to prioritize them, but they're definitely going to be read, do not worry. Next up, we have my horror manga, pretty much. We have my Junji Ito collection, which has been growing and growing non-stop because that man keeps writing horror and I keep eating it up. It is so good. We have all of these, which are incredible, 10 out of 10. We have this Kazuo Umez volume from Orochi. I did want to continue the series, but I wasn't like obsessed with it, so it's definitely not a priority, but I still really enjoyed this volume. It's about like this evil nurse, and she just pops up when you least expect it. It's kind of crazy, but I love it. Apart from this random graphic novel that I have here, which is Everyone's an Alien When You're an Alien Too, literally, apart from those 2 books, everything else is Junji Ito, which I'm kind of obsessed with. Like, I really love that. I do have these cool skeleton hand earrings that I feel like they just fit the vibe of the shelf. So of course I needed to include them. But yeah, this is basically just like my Junji Ito shrine, and I could not be happier. I don't know what I'm going to do when he keeps publishing books and I run out of space, but again, future Bella's problem. Next up, the final shelf in this bookshelf is my shoujo manga and also these Heartstopper graphic novels because I feel like it kind of fits the vibe. Like, it has the same color scheme as my Sign of Affection volumes, and yeah, I just thought it was like a perfect fit. We also have the Tea Dragon Society, which is a really cool and cute graphic novel. As you can see, the ones that take up the most space is A Sign of Affection. This is a story or a series that I've been reading for a while now, and I just adore it, okay? It's like so cozy and heartwarming, and the relationship between the 2 main characters is so beautiful, and we need more stories like this. We also have this box set of Wotakoi. Wotakoi is probably one of my favorite series that I've ever read, like favorite shoujo, because everything about it is so good. I watched the anime, fell head over heels in love with every single character, and then I read the entire manga series. It was just so good. And there's only 6 volumes. Like, how is that fair? That is just not fair, but the intro to the anime lives rent-free in my head. And then here we have a couple of other series that I've started, but I have still yet to continue, like Skip, Beat, and Nana. I have finished my Love Mix-Up though. I did read the rest of the series online. No regrets. It was so nice. It was so beautiful. That's basically this last bookshelf that we have here on this wall. So that was my entire bookshelf collection of this side of the wall. But we do have an entire other bookshelf to talk about. We have some other manga, but we also have some other genre categories that I've divided up. So let's get into this one now. This shelf has quickly become a combination of different things. I was supposed to only dedicate it to manga, but then since I have this entire shelf already dedicated to manga, I was like, maybe I can mix and match a couple of other genres. So let's get into it. The very first thing that we have here is my 1,000 piece puzzle of Luffy. And in case you guys didn't see my odyssey as I tried to build this, every single puzzle piece is frames from the anime. And it was so difficult to put it together. It literally took me months to do. But of course, once you put it all together, it makes up Luffy's wanted poster picture. It's definitely one of the hardest and best things that I've ever done. So of course I had to frame it and I had to put it here next to my One Piece collection. I do collect the omnibus editions, so I just have all of these volumes. Oh my goodness. I used to have them separated, like I only had a couple up here and then I had some here and some here, but then I realized that I could actually fit the entire collection that I have in the upper shelf. So I was like, let's use this space as best as we can. And of course, I have a couple of Funko Pops to complete my collection. I have these two models of the pirate ships. We have the Thousand Sunny and the Going Merry. I love having them together, of course. We have Zoro, we have Boa Hancock, and up here we have a Chopper Tamagotchi that I haven't even opened because I don't want him to die, okay? I don't think I could ever forgive myself for that. And we have this iconic Zoro figurine that came all the way from Japan, as well as this Chopper one. They're just so iconic. I literally adore them. Oh, and then also this Lego set of the One Piece character. It's just so cool. Oh, and we also have this lamp of Luffy's. Okay. So it doesn't actually flicker in real life. I don't know why it's doing that on camera, but basically it's like a glowing light and I love it. Okay, why is it still doing that? Stop. There we go. And of course we have this iconic Luffy Funko Pop as well in Gear 5. It's just, yeah, I really love my One Piece collection. Of course, it's not complete. There are still more omnibus editions coming out. But again, future Bella's problem. My idea for this bookshelf was to sort of use every square as a separate genre that I could organize my books in. So for example, this first little square is all of my historical fiction books. And as you can see, I don't have that many. So this was a great use of the square in my opinion. And then down here we have my memoirs and nonfiction. Since I don't have that many of either, I thought this was a perfect way of using this space since I wouldn't have any other place to put these books since they're so specific, you know what I mean? And then underneath my memoirs and nonfiction, we have literary fiction, I want to say. See, this one is a little bit of a doozy. Like, I don't actually know if this is correct, like factually correct. But I do think that, you know, the majority of these books are literary fiction and they just fit. You know, and I think definitely my favorite book in this square has to be A Ladder to the Sky. If I could display it, like if I could put it like this, I would be so happy just because I love this book so much. But so far I don't really have the space for it, but maybe I can find a better way to, you know, organize them and that way I could have it on display. But for now, this is how my literary fiction shelf looks. I know that I do have a couple of other literary books or literary fiction books on my main shelf, but these are books that I couldn't really find a space for. So yeah. And then we have these middle shelves and these are all my huge manga volumes. These are like the omnibus editions. So we have my Vinland Saga books, the first 4, and then here we have the last 4 that I have. I love that the colors change every 2 volumes. I think it really keeps it interesting and it makes the collection look so cool. And then in the middle of them, I have my 4 Berserk volumes. This square is dedicated to my boyfriend. So these are all of the books that he has read or that he wants to read. For example, he saw that I was going to be getting rid of these 2 and he was like, please don't get rid of them. I really want to read them. but he has read Ruination, and he says that I should read this one, that I could actually enjoy it. He also read People We Meet on Vacation, because this is actually the book that brought us back together after like a 5-year hiatus, so it means a lot in our relationship. This is a book that we buddy read together for Christmas, and it was so cute. This is the series that he's currently reading, which is The Final Empire, and of course he got the cool European covers, and I'm keeping them safe, you know, because he doesn't really have room for books in his room. So I'm just keeping them for him. But he's also read Dawn Shard by Brandon Sanderson and Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, which is really cool because that was a Patreon buddy read and he was just like, I want to read it with you guys. So we just went ahead and got him a copy. And I also have a figurine of Rock Lee here because it's one of his favorite characters. So this is like my boyfriend's shelf, you know? Down here we have just a little shrine that I've made for the Foxhole Court. This is one of those series that live rent-free in my mind, okay? I love this series. I love these characters. They are so demented and insane and crazy, and I wouldn't want to have it any other way. So we have the original trilogy, which starts off with the Foxhole Court. Also, these fan-made covers are just insanely cool. This is one of the best purchases that I've ever made in my entire life. We have the Foxhole Court, then we have the Raven King, and then lastly, we have the Kingsmen. Oh, they just look so good together. I wish I could display all three. Honestly, maybe I should, because I am obsessed. Every time I put these books together, I am so in love with how they look. It just looks so cool. Like, oh, look at this. It's truly one of the best purchases that I've ever made, that I will ever make in my entire life. Apart from the Foxhole Court, the sun is shining through. It's like it knows I'm talking about the Foxhole Court. But anyways, we're also currently following the Sunshine Court, which is Nora Sakovic's newest series, and we're following two other characters that were present in the original trilogy, but now they have their own series, and I am so excited. We have the Sunshine Court and the Golden Raven. This unfortunately fell into the ocean, so it's kind of, yeah, it's not the best. But yeah, there's that. But the Sunshine Court is like in literal perfect condition. So there we go. I do want to reread it in its physical version because I did read it as an ebook the first time around, and that's why it doesn't have any annotations. But I would love to reread just so that I could annotate it. Oh, and then we have this Haikyuu water bottle that my friend from Germany made for me while I was there. And it just has a bunch of Haikyuu stickers, and I felt like it matches the vibe of this shelf perfectly since both of them are so focused on sports and such. It makes sense in my brain, okay? And then the last shelf that we have here, it looks very minimalist compared to all of my other shelves, but it's basically all of my translated fiction. See, here we have my copy of when we buddy read The Restaurant of Lost Recipes with my boyfriend. So we have two. I don't know if you noticed, but that's his copy and this is mine. We have some Thai literature. We have Japanese literature. So basically this is just a shelf dedicated to all of my translated fiction. I thought it would be nice to have all of them together, and it just looks really cute and minimalist like this. I don't know, I just really like the vibe of it. It feels right for me. And yes, those are all of the books on this side of the wall. As you can see, I have quite a lot of books. I can't even get all of them in frame. Let me see. I have quite a lot of books in my book collection. I really just wanted to give you guys like a thorough tour of my bookshelves and my books because I really want to see how it's going to keep growing and changing and evolving. And I feel like taking you guys along with me through its transformation is going to be really special and beautiful. So of course, I really just wanted to do this and share every single little tidbit that I could of my bookshelves and my book collection. That was my bookshelf tour. I actually cannot believe that we made it through. I feel like there were a lot more books than I was prepared to talk about. Like halfway through, my arm was falling. But you know what? It was worth it because because now I have immortalized the state of my bookshelves as of January 2026. Who knows what these bookshelves are gonna look like at the end of the year or maybe 2 years from now? Like, anything can happen, anything and everything. But I am so happy that I have these bookshelves immortalized in time and that I was able to share it with you guys. So I really do hope that you enjoyed. These are my pride and joy. And I know, okay, I know that I have a couple of kinks to work out here and there. I know the genre divisions, and especially like this shelf, like this fantasy shelf, I know it's not perfect. I know I definitely have betterments that I could do to my book collection. So if you guys have any recommendations, I am more than open to hearing them out because I'm not the best. You know, I can accept the fact that I could do with some constructive criticism for sure, absolutely. So if you guys have any suggestions on how I can make my book collection thrive even more, please leave them down below because I would highly, highly appreciate them. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed seeing my 2026 bookshelf tour. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it's 2026. Like, I still can't wrap my head around it. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I really do hope you enjoyed. I also have a Patreon where I post exclusive content. I host readathons, reading sprints, and a monthly book club. This month we're reading Dungeon Crawler Carl, and it's been a ride. It's definitely been an interesting book so far, so I would love to have you join if you can, if you want. The link is down below as always, and without further ado, I guess I'll see you next time. Bye!
Hey Jimmy, you nice, keep going.